So this week's instalment of baking is going to be some chocolate ganache filled. They're biscuits, which taste amazing. They're so super like made of shortbread, so they're super short and buttery and yummy. And they look super cute, and I'm going to show you how to do all the piping and all the details, all of that. And also you can make them vegan, you can make them gluten free, and I've popped all the substitutions below for you, and you can make them yourselves. So before I start, I'm just going to chat you through all the different ingredients and stuff that you're going to need to make these cute little bear biscuits. So for the actual shortbread, like the biscuit bit, you're going to need some plain flour and butter, lots of butter because it's going to be really nice and short and crumbly and melt in the mouth. And then obviously some sugar, make it nice and sweet. And then I usually do these with cardamon and orange rind, but I don't have either. So I'm just going to make it with cinnamon instead, which I think will be just as nice, like cinnamon and chocolate ganache together. So cinnamon in there. And then over here is everything to make the chocolate ganache. So there's some chocolate as well as some double cream, or you can use coconut milk to make it vegan. Oh, and also I'll just rewind and explain how to make the shortbread vegan, but you can instead of using like butter, you can use some vegan butter, but just make sure it has lots of fat content. You don't want something that's like 60% fat, because your biscuits are going to reflect that and they'll be a bit dry. Or you can make my alternative shortbread using coconut oil, and I'll include that recipe down below, as well as the non-vegan recipes too. Then finally over here, this is just to make all of the icing. So you've got your icing sugar and some eggs, and you're just going to use the egg white to make a nice icing that you can pipe, and then some food dyes. So I've got blue and black, but you can use like other colours. Anyway, that's all the ingredients, so it's pretty like standard stuff you'll have in your cupboard. So now it is time to bake. Put all of these out of the way for now. So you're going to start by making the shortbread. So I've got a nice bowl, and I'm going to chuck in my butter, which is softened at like room temperature, so nice and soft. And then I'm going to add my sugar in there, and then get my spatula and just kind of beat it, bash it around, just get it all like nice and combined. But yeah, the technical term is to cream it. So now that is really nice and soft and kind of spreadable. So you don't really need it, you know, for cake you'd like whisk it up until it's like really nice and fluffy, but for the biscuits you don't want any rise in them, so just get it soft and then add in the flour. And then just to flavour, I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon, I think like about a tablespoon. Okay. And then it's just about mixing in the flour and cinnamon and butter and sugar until you'll eventually get like a nice dough, and then we can roll it out. I think I'm just going to use my hands for this. Great, so that's all come together now as a nice dough. So I'm just going to gather up all the bits. And the key here is just not overworking it, so I've got a rough ball of dough and I'm happy with that. I'm not going to spend too much time faffing with it. Just because the more you work the dough, the tougher it's going to get, and then the less buttery and melt in the mouth and yummy it's going to be. Because of your cinnamon, my dough is actually like a light brown colour, but normally when I use cardamon and orange rind, it's still white, but it'll just be cute bears but a slightly different colour. But either way, it's fine, and it tastes really good with the cinnamon. So just get your flour and sprinkle it all over your work surface, nice and messy. Plonk your dough down, bit of flour on top, ready to roll. So you're just going to get your nice big rolling pin and just roll it out. Just apply some even pressure. Rotate it a bit. Make sure that you lift the dough up and just move it a little bit, just to make sure that it's not sticking, because this is quite like a buttery kind of wet dough, so some people find it a little bit harder to handle. But if you are having a lot of difficulty rolling it out, then you can just put it in the fridge for like 20 minutes or so, and that'll firm it up, and then you'll find it easier. I did mention before, but this is just a half batch of the dough recipe, just because I don't have loads of people to eat my biscuits, and as you can see behind me, I just have tons of stuff that I need to eat anyway, so just doing a half batch of dough, but the full recipe will make double this. Great, so that feels really nice and even now, and I'm just going to get my cutters and stamp it out. So I've just got these two round cutters, and one of them is bigger than the other one, just because that's going to be the bear's belly. Diameter wise, I'll measure up and put the details below so you know the measurement. So I'm just going to get my baking tray, and I've put a silicone mat on there that you can use, and just some green paper. I'm going to work my way around and cut out all of this dough. So there's one, lift it up and just pop it on there. So yeah, just keep on going, stamping your dough out, lift it up, pop it on there, and keep going. Cool, and then re-roll all these offcuts. But yeah, try not re-roll it too many times, because the more you re-roll, the tougher that your dough is going to get. So now that all of these big circles are stamped out, I'm going to get my smaller little cutter and then stamp out some smaller circles, and they're going to be the tummies. So you're just going to go along and do this on half of them. They'll be sandwiched together. So one will be the base, and then the cut out tummy will be the top, and then I'll show all the ganache through the middle. Okay, so these are all done now, so they're going to go into the fridge or the freezer if you can fit it in the freezer. Freezer is ideal because it's faster, but fridge is fine. And then preheat the oven to 160 degrees Celsius whilst they're chilling, and then I'm going to bake them, and then I'll come back with some big biscuits. Now I've baked these and they're looking pretty good. So I've given them like 5 minutes or so to cool on the baking tray, and then I'm just going to pick them up with a knife and put them onto the cooling rack. Great, all done now. So whilst they're cooling, I'm going to show you guys how to make the ganache. So I'm just going to roughly chop this chocolate just a little bit more, just so it's a little bit smaller, and that'll mean that it'll melt a bit nicer. And then just put all of this chopped chocolate into a heat-proof bowl. Great. And then into a little saucepan, you're going to put all your cream or coconut milk. And then I'm just going to put this onto the hob and heat it until it's just starting to simmer. And then now I've just got the cream on the hob and it's heating, but just keep an eye on it because you want to make sure that it doesn't burn. You just want it to be like simmering a little bit. Over here, I'm just going to pour all of that hot cream right over the chocolate. Just make sure that all the cream covers the chocolate, but don't really stir it at this stage. Then you're just going to set a timer on your phone or whatever. 2 minutes, you're just going to leave it, chill out, and then come back. So it's looking really nice and smooth now, all mixed in and combined. So now this just needs to go into the fridge to chill, so I'm just going to put it into a little bowl, and then I'm going to cover it with some cling film and just put it in the fridge until the consistency is a bit thicker, and then that means I can sandwich the biscuits with it. Whilst it's chilling, I'm just going to practice some decorations for the top. So here are some chocolate buttons and I am just going to use a knife and cut them into half. Great, all done. And these are going to be the bear's ears once I sandwich them together with the ganache. And then also, whilst your ganache is chilling, you might as well make the icing to decorate it later. So put your icing sugar in a bowl. I am not actually weighing this, but all the actual weights are below. And then add your egg white. Okay. And then I'm just going to whisk it up and then adjust the consistency as I need to. So still too runny, more icing sugar. Great, so that consistency now looks good because it kind of holds a ribbon and doesn't disappear straight away. But if you give it, say like 20 seconds, then it'll all disappear. Then you're just gonna divide this up between a couple different bowls, and I am gonna dye them different colours. Just pop all of these into different piping bags. So some white icing. Just bundle up the piping bag like that, and then just give the top a little knot. Done. Keep going. Now you're going to have bits of food dye all over your tables and your hands. But anyway, now you've got 3 different piping bags with 3 different colours. So now my ganache is out of the fridge and it's pretty nice and chill. Tastes amazing. Yeah, and if you want to put like a grated rind in here as well, it's also really nice, like a grated orange rind, and it's chocolate orange. So all you're going to do is get like some ganache on the back of your spoon and spread it onto your biscuits. Then you're just going to place your little ears on where the ears on the bear will go, so about there, and just kind of wedge them into that ganache, and then put your top biscuit with the hole in the middle on top and just sandwich that together. And there you have one bear biscuit, and then just keep going with all of them, and then you'll add the faces and stuff later. And now all I'm going to do is decorate these guys using my icing. So I'm just going to cut the tip of this piping bag just a little bit so that I can pipe from it. And then I'm just going to pipe like a little, what do you call it, like a muzzle, nose? Just a cute little white patch to put the nose and mouth onto. Okay, there we go. Just going to add 2 little kind of loopy eyes here. Again, just picking it. Then just add in some little arms. And then just going to use this to pipe some little cheeks. Then back to the white, and this is going to be added onto the ears just to define them a little bit more. And then I am going to come back to piping this mouth area, just going to wait for it to sort of semi-set before I do that, otherwise it will just sort of blend in and the colours will merge a bit. So that's all of their little features piped, and now the white icing is set so I can add the mouth and the nose. So you're just going to get your dark icing and just put a little nose, and you can vary these in all of them. You can make them bigger or smaller or whatever, and then just do like, maybe this one's just a classic happy face with a little smile, and then just go and do that with all of them. They're so cute with all the different little faces, and obviously this is just a small batch, but you can make double, use the recipe below. But yeah, look how cute they are, and they're really easy. As you can see, they haven't taken me long at all. So yeah, I hope you found that really helpful. I hope you're gonna go away and make your bear biscuits yourself. I'd love to see if you've got any pictures. Just you can tag me on Instagram on @KimJoy'sKitchen, or on Twitter if you use that as well. But yeah, great to hear what you think, and I hope it's been useful, and just hope you've had some fun. And just another little reminder that if you could subscribe, I would be very highly, greatly appreciative of that, and I wish I could give you a bear biscuit in return, but I can't give everybody one, but I can eat them myself. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Tastes very good.